Myth of the White African Part 2. JAHPOWER. Be king. Get free or die. Heavy is the head that wear the crown. Make sure y'all like the video. Thumb up the video. Subscribe to the channel. Now, last night we did part 1. Go over there and thumb up. Like that video. See, that help people see. And that make the channel grow. When y'all like the video. So make sure y'all go and do that. And make sure, again, to subscribe to the channel. I'm giving you the heat. And these is the ones you need. And so tonight, family, again, this is Myth of the White African Part 2. Gonna, explain more of what I was saying last night. Now, last night we dove into Herodotus and the identity of the people. And, the peoples of the land, Canaan, Israel, Turkey, which is Colchis, Egypt and Ethiopia. What did Herodotus and the Greco-Romans say about these people? Now, tonight, we're going to go a little bit more deeper into that. Again, make sure y'all like the video. All right? So we're going to start right here. The term God did not exist in Kemetic ancient Egypt. All right? In tradition, it is therefore not an indigenous to Africa, African thought or behavior. In Kemetic truth, the highest supreme entity, the one creator of the heavens and earth and all of nature and the African humanity, was and acknowledged and sent by our Kemetic ancestors as Neta, NTR. The term God is used in an application way formulated in Europe and brought into Africa by European with criminal motives, was the systematically removal of indigenous African concepts of spirituality that reflect a Neta root spirit. So again, what we was talking about last night, they removed the history of our people. They removed the history of black people in order so we won't remember those times. Because that's why they show 300 to fuel energy into the ancient fight for they people today. That's just real, and that's what they doing. So when they look at that movie, white people get a sense of pride when they go to look at, Rome and all of these 300, all of these movies of people that look like them. And, they'll take, again, historical black lands, and make a movie and turn everybody white. Okay? Okay, they've been doing that. That's a system. You know what I'm saying? That's Eurocentricity. You see what I'm saying? Eurocentricity. Well, everything historically great is done by white people. You see what I'm saying? A supreme white race, which I was talking about, y'all, the Great Brotherhood, Madame Blavatsky, again, in the Devil's Baby. So let me go here though. So again, here go the Neta. See, and we was talking about writing last night where the Egyptians wrote how we write today, from right to left, which the Greeks wrote from left to right. So obviously, we see during time who's outlasted who's, because the greater technology is the one that's gonna last. So the way we write today is the way they wrote a long time ago. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Okay? Ain't nothing new under the sun. Again, thumb up this video. Subscribe to this channel. Excuse me. So, again, you see that the glyphs is the first written language, on the planet. Modern language. This is where modern language come from. We've been taught again that language come from Latin, but Latin way down there at number 6. Before that, after the hieroglyphs, the ancient Egyptian language, you got Paleo Semitic language, which ain't nothing but an ancient Egyptian language. You got the Hebrew, which is another branch of ancient Egyptian language. All of these uh, languages and all of these scripts and all of these alphabets come from the ancient Egyptian. Now, the ancient Egyptian had 22 letters. Now, the other ones, the J and all of that, was added later, you know, uh, in later time, even after the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? But you see right here, because history starts with writing. When they start recording history is when they history starts. That's why uh Herodotus and Homer and all of them discovered education and history for the European. You see what I'm saying? Because, the ancient Egyptian scrolls, which I'm going to show, existed before them. So this is when our history started. And you can see it's the first writing system on the planet. And that's significant because we was told in school that writing and language come from Latin. All right? All right? And then you see right here, you got the Greek, you got the early Greek, which ain't nothing but another form of the hieratic text and all of that. All of these languages is written by African people. I'm just telling you why, and this is what it's saying. That's why you see the glyphs first, and then you get Latin, and then you get modern language, which what we using today. All right. Now, Illuminati 33rd degree is degree. We rule Kemetic dynasties for 32 dynasties. When the Pale Ones conquered Kemet, our 33rd dynasty became their 33rd Freemasonry. Stolen science. It's stolen science. See, I told y'all, man, who is the keepers of the knowledge? They call it the keepers of the light. You see what I'm saying? But they don't went around the world stealing scrolls and stealing ancient, statues with very important information on them, tablets and shit on how to build civilization and keep it going. Because this civilization, the Kemetic civilization, we don't even know how old it is. But, concerning history, you started with the Sphinx. You know what I'm saying? If you started with the Sphinx, you talk about at least 15,000 years, which would make it about 17,000 years, and you got writings in that area. You got older writings than that too. You got older writings than that too. But I'm just saying, like how we got modern writing, history starts with writing. You got to be able to record that shit. All right? So, but you got to, once they stole things, how they had to hide this in secrecy. You see what I'm saying? They had to hide it in secret. So what you seeing in the museum is probably 2% of African history, but that 2% of African history is all over the world in all the greatest museums. When you go into the museums, they either got the Indians and the Africans in there. The people they conquered. That's just what it is. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But you see right here, the scholars have proven that the Great Sphinx depicts the face of a black African individual. Some people think that it's a black woman. It could be true indeed. But the fact is, this is black people. And they showing how it wasn't no camera back then. So when people would record, they would, just how you see, them people, you sit down and then they paint a portrait of you. This is where they got it from. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the left foot would be forward, because the people that they was painting or who they was carving into a statue was alive. That's how you know. You see what I'm saying? So they was painting or carving, in this case, life-size sculpture. So they was looking at the person that they carved. And if you see, the Omo people in Ethiopia the Sudanese people, you know, different Africans in that area got that, pregnatic jaw, that prominent jawline like that, you know, and that's why they knocked them noses off, which I'm gonna deal with on the next video too. I'm gonna deal with, they knocked the noses off. It wasn't just the Sphinx, every damn one, even the ones that they found in Europe. The what we be saying they name called the Etruscans, which ain't nothing but African people. Even they noses and shit knocked off, and it's different reasons for that. And I'm gonna get into that tomorrow. Again, thumb up this video. Cause what I'm showing you, right now, it's so much extensive research being done. Egyptology. Why would you, ain't nothing but another Freemason type of society to cover up the truth of black people? Because they done enslaved the same people that they enslaved. They know is the people that's on this wall. And I showed yesterday on part 1, go thumb up that video, like that video. I showed y'all on part 1 where the European over there in Belgium or some damn Germany, I don't know where the hell it was at. They got a big ass statue where they done, decapitated the Egyptian head, and he's standing on top of the head. When they do that, that means we have conquered these people. That's what that means. Now, if you the Egyptian, what would you have to conquer the shit for if it's already you? That's how you know it ain't them. I'm just being real. And you ain't gonna see not. I'm gonna show you the fallacy, which I showed yesterday, the white lies, and they tried to. Yesterday I showed where they tried to connect, King Tut to France and to, all these Egyptian, how Sheikh Anta Diop went in there in 1974 and UNESCO and smashed that up and smashed them up in that conference, and he won the conference. That's just true indeed. They ain't think Sheikh Anta Diop was popping like that, because he had to, because he had asked them, could he get, a piece of the mummy so he could have it tested, a little small sample, and they said no. Well, he took the shit anyway. He took the shit anyway. And matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about all this other. I'm gonna talk about all that tomorrow. About the noses and all that, because I got some stories for that. But right here, you see this, the Book of the Dead, which is the oldest book on the planet. And the kingdom of heaven is within you. You see what I'm saying? See, we got a concept of God always outside of us. But the Africans say, know thyself. The kingdom is within inside. They saying you a piece of what the one is, the netter is. That's what they saying. And that netter have 99 damn attributes, just like in Islam, just like in Christianity and everything else. It got 99 attributes. In Christianity, that's in Islam, with Allah Muhammad, and got 99 attributes, which is, just like the nettles, you got, a tomb, and then you got Amen, and then you got different deities. Then and Christianity, you got 12 disciples, and then you got one of them, you got the Trinities, which is 3 different gods, and Holy Ghost, or whoever knows what that is. Whoever know what that is, you know what I'm saying? But this right here is the Book of the Dead, and these are the scribes that still survive to this day. Y'all got to go get this right here. This the oldest book on the planet, and these are just a compilation of a bunch of scrolls. This the first time it had been put in book form, because it's older scrolls than that. That's just real. That's just the Arab Spirit papyrus and all of that. They'll take, man, when we was talking about there was conquering, they not only do they rename lakes and rivers and lands after Europeans, Lake Victoria, they done took even the papyruses, the scripts, they done not the Edward Smith papyrus. They done named them after Europeans and shit. And so when the people that go to look for this shit, they ain't thinking about black people when they say Edmund Smith papyrus, and then you open it up as a bunch of black people on the scroll. Hey, y'all go type in, before I move on, y'all go and type in Richard Pryor, I think it was in 74. And he in a pyramid. And he find the Book of the Dead inside the pyramid, with these white archaeologists or whatever. And he opened up the book. He like, these black people, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Go look up that video. It's showing you this what he was looking at, the Book of the Dead. And you see all these black people up here doing all these amazing things. This is why they had to take that away from you, because they enslaved you. How could they justify the fact of enslaving you, and you got all of this shit up here? Remember, they were saying your ass was a savage and a beast and all this negativity shit, wasn't, worthy of the gum on the bottom of somebody's shoe. Somebody thumb up this video, please. But you see why here these brothers got industry going on. They got the, assembly lines going. They planting food. They doing everything. Did you notice numerous examples of African unity and black economics left by our ancestors in Kemet? And see, that's why y'all gotta see these releases. We need, African unity and black economics today. So this the part I was wanting to get to. So you gonna see when we put on the ancient Egyptian clothes, the shit just look right. It just look right. But then you look at them silly Greeks, which they couldn't, make them beautiful carved statues out the rock. Millions of them, little ones, big ones. I got some replicas in my house. They couldn't make them like that. They would take a little piece of wood and then paint a little white Greek face on there, and that was it. It wasn't nothing extravagant. But, the Greeks and the Romans copied Egyptian culture. That's facts. I done already put that up here. And I will do it again. I might find it for part 3 tomorrow. But they copied Egyptian culture, tradition, and language. That's just period. And they had to beg to do it. And I'll get into that later. I'll get into that tomorrow, because we're going to be talking, more about that tomorrow. But when we put on the clothes, the shit just look right. Now, again, same thing. I think that's Carrie Hilson, or I think that's her sister name. But soon as we put it on, it got one with Eddie Murphy and, a couple of other people on it. And the shit just look right when we put it on. Period. And so, not no Charleston Hester and all this shit there. The nigga Moses, and this Moses black as hell in Egypt and shit. So again, I bought you Dr. Ben last night. Here go Dr. Clark. Now watch what he gonna say. When Alexander came into Africa, instead of burning the libraries, and that's one of the greatest myths in history, the burning of the Library of Alexandria is a lie. They sent the books home to the apostles, the Greeks, Plato, Herodotus, and Hippocrates, and all these people right here. These is where they got their information from. If you go straight into it, I read it last night. They say they got their information from Kemet. And I got a screenshot something too for tomorrow. Ooh, I got some shit in the room. I've been reading for y'all. Soon as it come on, they got it from Egypt. The Greeks, I'm trying to tell you, soon as I opened the book, I said, now look at that. These motherfuckers got it from Egypt. But he goes on to say who we wrote a lot of them, talking about, the books, and put his own name on them. And so a lot of what you think is apostle or Greek history or writings is plagiarism from the African writings. Period. That Dr. John Henry Clark. You see what I'm saying? So they done plagiarized, they done stole, they done, rape the Nile, the rape of the Nile. Go get that book right there. Cause you need it. You need that one. You got to go get that one. The rape of the Nile. Again, thumb up this video. All right, subscribe to the channel. Again, we were talking about Gail Gadot. Again, now, who would you think, would be a true representation of the Kemetic people or the ancient Egyptians? Who would it be? Rihanna or Gail Gadot? Who should Hollywood cast for the epic upcoming movie Cleopatra? Should it be Gail Gadot or Rihanna? All right, so that's almost Nefertari right there on the right. And if you look at the sister on the left, you see, and that's this sister look like that all in Africa. You see what I'm saying? And look how dark she is. They saying that the Egyptians is a dark-skinned European. Now, a European could never be that dark. I let you be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you trying to take, Egypt and Ethiopia and the Nile Valley out of Africa. If it was yours, where the pyramids at in Europe then? All right? All right? But you see right there. And again, this is almost Nefertari, and she is 2689 BCE. All right, to 1550 BCE. All right, and that's just her date. And look how old that is. Now you seeing the similarities in us today and us yesterday. And we ain't that far from it. We just gotta realize what it is, man. We just gotta realize what it is. And I remember, now I gotta tell y'all this story. I remember when I was first coming into this, cause I was searching for something in my life. Like, I'm talking about like 2008, 2007 type shit. I was looking for something. This like 15, good God. But I was looking for some shit. I was looking for this type of information. I knew I was needing something, but I didn't know what I need. And what did I need? It was information. And I knew I knew they was hiding our history. I knew it, but I didn't know that that's what I was searching for. You know what I'm saying? In the first videos that I was looking on the internet, I was looking for books. I was trying to find something, you know what I'm saying? And I met some Africans in Atlanta. But I knew they was Muslim. But they was out there selling Kemetic jewelry. And I was like, hold on. And I didn't know at the time, I didn't connect Kemetic system to black people, period. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. And it could be right. Now I seen them statues though. I said, damn, that shit black. But I just went on with the information. But ever since then, I had been searching. So like 2008, I found some videos of Dr. Bean and some videos of Dr. Clark. And that's how I started my journey. But you see the similarities in us today and us then. They had ways, we got ways. The 360s. You see, they got lots, we got lots. You see what this King Zolja of the Third Dynasty, 2700 BCE, which would make him damn near 5,000 years old. You know what I'm saying? So you see the president of Gambia, and then you see the Pharaoh Huni. You see what I'm saying? 2600 BC. You see what I'm saying? You see the hat, you see the crown, you see, the crown chakra. You see how, the resemblance. It was Africans that accumulated over time. All 42 tribes live in the Nile Valley. Chancellor Williams said it. George M. James said it. Sheikh Anta Diop said it. And if you go ask them people in them tribes, so we all Nile Valley. Because that's where life first began. Period. Culture, building, agriculture, everything. You see what I'm saying? It was a full-fledged modern society. Electricity. All right? They had electricity. Homer, Plato, one of them said they had lit street lights and shit. You know what I'm saying? Paved highway roads, glass windows. You know what I'm saying? Modern tight flushing toilets and shit, drainage systems and shit. They had, agricultures of fish farms and shit. You could just, walk up and just grab a fish about the damn. How you got fountains and shit, and you be seeing them fish in there. Well, they would do that so you would have fresh fish as like fast food. So we created that too. We created that too. And I think this brother right here, I think this is Singustrate right here, if I ain't mistaken. But you see this African man right here, the resemblance. See, Africans, they be trying to say that they red Mediterraneans or some shit, or black Europeans or some shit like that. That's what they be saying. You know what I'm saying? And you see Africans come in all different colors. Everybody in Africa ain't black as the pavement. You know what I'm saying? You got different shades of black. You got different shades of black, and I'm gonna show y'all that in a little bit what black is. Y'all seen the dumb forgot. Thumb up this video. Thumb up this video. So you see again the resemblance of the hairstyles. A lot of the crowns are hairstyles, and we have been rocking them for a long time. See, graffiti is like the writings on the wall. Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's the same thing. I used to have a box. Hold on, let me go back. Shit jumping around. I used to have a box. High top fade. And so you see this what the statues look like. But hidden by museums and the media. These the ones that they don't want to be shown. They'll show you them wood and Greek statues and all of that shit. And then when you go in the museum, they'll have, some of the African was ones up there, but they'll have like ones that look later on, but it'll say Greek on it. It'll say during the Greco-Roman rule. This is African. This King Tut right here. Again, African come in 6 different colors, from the lightest albinos to blue, black, purple. All right, blue, black, purple. All right, again, another black man right there. Another black man. You see, now this right here, man. This bus right here is a fake. See, this is what started a lot of the myth of the white African. Some white man was over there in Egypt, and he wanted to find something so bad he had to create a fake. And he went put it in the dirt and smeared it around, try to make it look like it was old. Say, ooh, here go a white woman in Egypt. Here go a white woman in Egypt. But today, they still try to promote this fake bus, and there go the tag number for the shit right there. This fake bus that they try to put out there on the morning shows and shit and say these is the Egyptians. These ain't no Egyptians. This ain't no Egyptians. Because I'm going to show you. Now, here you go right here. Now, this is what I wanted to show. I'm about to see if I can. There we go. Blow this shit up right quick. Now, there's no way. There's no way. Y'all see where Ethiopia and all of that is. It's black as hell. These are the different skin colors, which is, pink and white. That shit way up there in Siberia and Canada and Russia and shit like that. Iceland and Greenland. All of that shit is ice. That's where they come from. But we come from the blackness, and you see all the shades of blackness is in Africa. But you see the darkest is the most. You see the darkest is the most. You see what I'm saying? That's these niggas over here be talking about, we indigenous to America. You look at America for these goofies talk about they some Indians, black Indians, copper Indians and shit. Ain't nothing copper over that shit. White and pink and tan and shit. No, we ain't that kind of tan. We these color tan, brown, reddish looking and shit. We ain't none of the old indigenous shit. We for Africa. We for Africa. And we from tropical lands. If you gonna survive on this planet, you can't sleep outside in the cold in America. You will die. You will freeze to death. But in Africa, you can sleep outside. You know, I ain't saying it don't, but it don't snow. It ain't no ice and shit going on. So you can survive. I mean, you can plant food 24/7. You could plant all the shit needed, some good dirt, some water, and some sunlight, and you got some food. All right. So blackness gave birth to light. Blackness gave birth to light. They telling you right there, and they came from the Book of the Dead too. That ain't come from no Bible. All right, that come from the Book of the Dead. That's Kemetic science that they done put in the Bible. Black people always the ancient people knew that they was the first people, and they knew that they was laying the blueprint for everybody else to come. So if they fucked it up, you know, if they had times where they messed up, but they had to trial and error, keep doing it again and get the shit right. So everybody that came after them, you know, would have the right platform, would have the right formation, writing, agriculture, civilization, so you can live, technology. Do y'all understand that? That's what they're saying. So you see the Baja people, you be seeing these people, nigga talking about Aborigines. Nigga, these ain't no Aborigines, these right there in Ethiopia. Right there, they that's henna in their hair. That's why their hair that color. That's a dye. And you see it right there on the walls of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? You be seeing them over there in Melanesia and shit. Over there in Asia and shit, you be seeing these Africans and shit. The Kemetic people went all over the world. Period. But they come from Africa. All right? That's why we the same people. That's why we the Kemetic people. Ain't no, because we some tribe and all this shit. All the tribes was in the Nile Valley. That's what made it flourish for so long. You know, everybody had, each one of those tribes did. Some tribes were agricultural tribes. Some tribes, even today, nomadic tribes, where they go out and then gather information and you know, travel, and they mail men, basically, the hunter-gatherers and shit, like the Fulani and shit today. And then you had, you know, scribe type tribes, which tool building type tribes and shit, the Twa, and shit like that. So you had different tribes that did specific things. You know what I'm saying? Those, like again, those nomadic tribes that carry cargo. You got the hunter-gatherer tribes that go out there and hunt and bring back the meat and shit. And that's unity. And I showed y'all that earlier. You know what I'm saying? But you see the Kemetic people, they go to Watusi people and shit. Oh man, his hair red, man. He a European and shit. But that nigga skin stupid black, but and that's henna. That is not red hair like the European. That's henna in his hair. That's why his hair, that's an Ethiopian man on the left and the right. Period. And so you see right here. You see right here, these is African people. All hard scientific evidence proves that the ancient Egyptians of the ancient Africans affect with Africans. The age and location and the ancient cities and the ancient artifacts, DNA analysis of many mummies, and only the things that refute the ancient Egyptians were in fact Africans. There are many words and theories and conjectures written by white historians. You know what I'm saying? You see these people, you ain't ever seen no white man, no Muzungu, no Tamahu man with no pick in his damn hair, man. You see brothers with the afro right now still to this day wearing the pick with the fist on the end. That come from the Nile Valley family. We still doing what we do. Period. Period. Every hairstyle, every hair net and shit, everything, weaves and shit. They were doing all that shit in the Nile Valley. We ain't never changed. It's certain shit you just can't change about our true black identity, our true black DNA, and who we truly are. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them keep sitting up here lying to you, saying we some other people and all of this shit, and they'll say our history just started with slavery. They want to cut you off from this right here. That's why they keep saying your history only started with slavery, which I did those videos for y'all. Now, again, here go them Greeks, but look what he holding though. Look what he holding. So where he get his knowledge from? This Plato right here, where he get his knowledge from, and or any other ones. They showing you what it is. If they're holding a pyramid, where the hell you see that pyramid at, man? All right then, which I talked about yesterday. That's another thing right here that I talked about yesterday. The Herodotus said that these people created circumcision, what the cultures got the circumcisions from the Egyptians. I read you all of them people, Sumerians and all of that shit. They got the circumcision from the ancient Egyptians. They go right there. And we still got the tools and the release to prove it. This is a relief. This is a medical relief right here. This is a medical relief. Let me go here. Now, this is Ra Hotel and I forget this I forget her name. But you see, these is the fake statues that they always show in the history school books and shit. These is the ones they show. Senior Shred. Oh, what's her name? Dang, she right on my tongue. But I know he right there, Ra Hotel. This dude right here. You know what I'm saying? Which is some fake statues, some fake buffs and shit. Again, light can only be understood within the wisdom of darkness. That's right. So again, these people done got in their mind, that they could see themselves walking through ancient Egypt and shit. They be dreaming and shit. I heard Champollion say, even his mama and shit, talking about Tahuti came and visit him in a dream and shit. And that's what gave him the inspiration to want to go to Egypt to try to disciple the metadata. And then when he got there, the damn sand was so high he couldn't even see no damn letters on the wall and shit. So, and which I think I might have already done showed that over here. I believe I'll go back and look it up. But again, it's that fantasy world that the Hollywood, white Americans and white Europeans and shit got in their mind that they the ancient Africans and shit. Now this sister right here, Ethiopia, right now today, and you see what she got on her forehead. You see what she got it. On the crown chakra. That's an right there. You see what it is, man. We ain't nothing new under the sun. We being who we been. So, I mean, this the part I wanted to get to right here. Because this the crux of the matter right here. I had to deal with identity, and how the people actually look. We dealt with that culture and everything. It's an African culture, without a doubt. Now, Islam, the Muslims come in 7th century AD. Long goddamn the Egyptian Empire over with. They try to come in and claim the history, but not at first though. At first, it was always a black civilization. Until the 1900 Eurocentric trip that they was on, trying to say all the great history in the world was done by Europeans, and there's one great Eurocentric white race and shit, spearheaded by Blavatsky and shit like that, Madame Blavatsky. Again, subscribe to this channel, thumb up this video. But you see right here, and I ain't even gonna say too much right there, because you can see what it is. You can see what it is. I ain't even gotta say too much right there. How can you say you the ancient Egyptian and you doing this shit right here? I'm just gonna move on. But I'm gonna come back to him. I got something funny. All right. Again, there's no proof none of them prophets in the Bible ever existed. And I'm glad to tell you that, because you need to wake up out of La La Land and shit. You need to wake up out of Disneyland and shit and come to reality, man. So they done, again, the rape of the Nile, they done changed the names, which Dr. Clark told y'all, them the Eastern Roman Empire, the damn Vandals and shit, done ran up in Africa with Alexander and shit, you know, the Muslims and shit, and done took and burnt shit and blew shit up and tore off, you know, tore up goddamn statues and renamed the shit. Ain't that what Dr. Clark just said? And renamed. Dr. Clark just told you that shit. They did the same thing with the biblical people. It's all based on Kemetic history, which is black history, global black history. Egypt, I read yesterday, they talk about, well, since Egypt is a multiracial civilization that belongs to the world. No, it don't belong to no world. That's African history. Period. Period. Again, the similarities in the culture. Now, again, this sister head, man. That ain't no hat. That ain't no hat. She done, since birth, they been forming her head to go that way. You know what I'm saying? Now, this Nefertiti right there. Now, do this Nefertiti look like the one that they dug about the ground? That they dug about the ground? No, it don't. It's the same thing. Right here, you see the Mambitu tribe. It's a lot of tribes that, you know, certain tribes in Africa that do that. And their hair grow on it, you know, and they style it up and shit. That's the same thing the ancient Egyptians doing. If y'all seen the ancient Egyptians, they wouldn't look like, but the Africans that still live in the tribal life. Period. The ones that still won't give up. Because you go to Africa today, these niggas drive Ferraris and got gold teeth and shit, hustling and all that, same rapping and shit, same shit we doing over here. You go over there, they doing the same thing. But if you go to the bush and shit, you see them Africans that's still traditional, and you go back 3,000 years ago, you'll see the exact same thing. So again, this the myth for the white African. Thumb up this video right here. Hey, but look at this, which I'm going to show this picture tomorrow. But look at the one in the middle, man. You got white people wearing dashikis. You got Greeks coming into Africa. You got Hollywood showing us movies. All these historical black places where black people still live to this day. Still live to this day. They, you know, and they throwing all this shit up, but they finding white statues, fake white statues, and making fake white busts and shit, and changing the pictures and shit, like I showed yesterday. And all this, then the image of God is the. I'm telling you, man, this is. Now, just like Dr. Clark said, that's a lie. They ain't burn all them books, and we ain't saying some didn't get burnt. But a lot of them books that we looking for is in the bottom of the Vatican. It's in the bottom in the archives of the Vatican and shit. You know, it's in the archives of the Vatican. Why the hell would you throw away? How you think they ruling the world? What you think they just came out and just all this information and technology just popped into their head? It don't work like that. Civilization is built on top of civilization, meaning, you know, you take a piece from this one, you know, they did this right, so I'm gonna use this. This civilization did this right, so I'm gonna use it. And you put all that together, then you start building. That's how that shit works. But with the Vatican hoarding information, which should be public record, you know, that secrecy and shit. You know, the nights and shit and all this shit, the 33rd degree and all this scary shit and shit. Hell nah. Which I don't even want to be a part of, for real, for real. We just want our shit back. Y'all can do all that. They couldn't even do all that. How would they know how to do all these ceremonies and all this shit without all them books and shit, you know? Oh, let me tell y'all this too. I was just watching the movie. It's called Fahrenheit 451. It got Michael B. Jordan. And in the movie, it's the same, because we talking about Liberia, Alexandria, where they burning books and all of this shit. Now, in this movie, they did the same thing. Now, America done failed. They trying to bring it to a new regime, so they going around as a firing squad burning books. You know, you know, in this movie, you know, they got, you know, in the world today, it's over 4,000 languages. In this movie, they had got it down to 16 like different languages and shit. And they trying to control the narrative and make the people forget about the old world. Now, this, you know, is what has been done to black people. This what been done to black people. Black people don't know their history, and this is why. All those books down there in the back. Y'all go watch that movie, you know, and I'll expound maybe on that later on or another time. But make sure you go watch it. But again, you see the Africans of the now. How the hell a white man gonna be walking around with a long Rastafari beard, nigga? And that sister on the bottom look like my cousin. And she got locked. So, well, how the hell these ain't black people? These so the Africans in the now today is it really ain't Europe, you know, they really Europeans and shit, nigga. And they be saying that on the census in America, it say Egypt white or some shit like that. If you black and you cover Egypt, I don't give a fuck how dark you is in America, your ass white, nigga. So they change it like in that movie, changing history. Now, this the DNA haplogroups of the area of what you would call monoliths or Arabs and shit like that. The Asians and shit. You know? Again, they came down with Alexander. You know, but you see over these the mountains and shit, they on that side in Asia. Cause what they call in the Middle East today, which I'm gonna show right there, this is the areas that, you know, Alexander people came from, the Arabs came from. This is the DNA of them, which I'm gonna show. Again, this is he not African. This is not African. I'm showing you, he not. You see how far the origins is where they come from, way back here. You know, at the top. You know, that's past Georgia. You know, that's past damn Georgia. They're past Hungary and shit. You know, that's way Scandinavia. That shit way up there and shit by Siberia. It's the same place where he came from. And Alexander, Macedonia and shit. That shit way, they ain't even indigenous there either. But that's another subject for another day. Again, the Arab. Go get this book right here, though. Arabs, 3,000 years of history, peoples, tribes, and empires. Go get that book and tell me what you think. Again, thumb up. You see these black people. This is Osiris, Isis, and Heru. These are the original paintings the original statues that they try to hide and shit. These are the ones that they be saying is priceless. You see what I'm saying? Now, again, they got, you know, the black girl, you know, dressed up as, it looked like an ancient mammy to me. And then they got the Chinese girl dressed up as an Egyptian, insinuating just like Oriental Institute, the Oriental Institute. You know, that's Asian, Oriental. But it's got all African statues in it, insinuating that the ancient Egyptians came from somewhere else outside of Africa. All right, they still doing that shit in plays and everything. All right, here go a 2,000-year-old mummy with still nappy hair. This is a real Egyptian. Period. 2,000 years old, which, you know, and his skin is still on and it's black. And it's black. And it's mummified, which means, you know, this will, you know, he don't look exactly like what he did in death, but, you know, his skin is still intact and you can still see the color in it, and it's black. This ain't no such thing as a black European. All right. You see right here, we know what each religion has taken from ancient Kemetic. The original is in stone. The original is in stone. We know what y'all done stole. They stole all of y'all talking about, you know, all this, how you slide and, you know, a saw and all of this shit at 12 o'clock on your knees. Nigga, they seen this shit on the wall in the 7th century AD and threw some a fake prophet out there and saying they Muhammad or some shit like that. And then, but poof, they got some prayer formations and some information. They got it right up off the walls. Family, don't let them fool you. So right there was part 2. Y'all make sure y'all thumb up this video. I'll be back tomorrow with part 3. Jump out. King. Get free or die. Heavy is the head to wear the crown. Thumb up this video.